Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been messing with some stuff. It's not gonna be perfect today. I can promise you that it's not gonna be perfect. Uh, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna be bad. Might be a little bad. How's it going, guys? So, as you can see, we changed things around a little bit. I don't know how long this stream is going to be. It could be same length. It could be short. It will not be longer. That is a promise. Hang on. Let me put myself in general chat in case anybody shows up. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Shit. Okay. So, yeah. Basically, alright, so this guy's done. Well, he's like 95% done. So, what I've done in my off time. Also, if the camera angle is fucked, I'm probably gonna be messing with that too. So, if it's messed up, just let's deal with it for now. Also, if you're wondering why we're listening to the Halloween playlist, number one, it's almost Halloween, so fuck you. Number two, I'm messing with some stuff regarding like the playlist, the music stuff. You can probably see two players right here. Well, in the bottom right hand corner. I'm trying to find something that's gonna work well with like what we've got going on. To varying degrees of success. I need to brush up my beard. I just oiled it. That's what I was doing while I was on the starting screen. So yeah, for whatever reason, right now at this very moment, this bit on top isn't working. I was originally going to use this, which I think looks pretty nice, but it does require me to have more stuff open, which is a little bit more extraneous on the computer for what it matters. If this doesn't work, which is significantly easier to use, but if this doesn't work, this is effectively our failsafe. I'm downloading music right now for our playlist. Some of obviously we mostly use Stream Beats. Obviously, since we downloaded all this stuff from Stream Beats, it's updated and it has a lot more stuff. So I figure that's what we'll be doing. So we'll just be using that. Oh fuck. Who dare? Who dare?
Hello?
Oh hey Cindy, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Just got started streaming.
Do your hair so long?
Yeah, you didn't see it last week because you didn't show up last week.
Because I was depressy.
Well, you should. You know what typically helps with that? Hanging out with friends.
That's true.
So how's it going?
Mama, baby? Did I know? Oh, okay. Sorry, I want to sleep talking.
It's cool. Yeah.
Monday, babe? Yes, you are. It's okay, honey. I apologize.
You're fine.
But yeah, no, I'm doing okay.
That's good.
How about you?
I think I'm doing pretty well.
Hell yeah.
Really busy. Just trying to get a whole bunch of shit together.
This model. I remember. What are you gonna change about it?
So I had to do the weight painting for it because when I do the automatic weights, some things don't translate the way that they maybe should. It's about like 95% done. Like, there's admittedly things I could do to improve this. But I mean, like, when I like move it around and shit, like, it does effectively what I need it to.
Oh, like what? Can I see? Can you move it? Like, does he walk and stuff?
Yeah, like I could theoretically make him walk.
Oh, bet.
I do want to try to figure out, because this is something relatively new to me with Blender. I do want to try and figure out how to like how to get the controls in different spots, because they are pretty intrusive where they are.
I got
Like,
this.
sometimes I have to I mean, I guess it happens, but I should be able to fix it.
This is true.
I'm just not 100% sure how to affect the controls. Yeah, so I mean, like, there's the start of a walk, or at least it's like frame 1 with some like editing. Okay,
That looks really good.
I gotta figure out why that
He's
fucking.
why is he like walking like he's gonna like come up to me and fight me? He's like, "What's up, dude?
Hang on, let me angle
What
it a
could you say?"
let me angle it a particular way. What's that JoJo thing? Like, you dare?
Jotara.
No, it's like you dare.
I can't even do it. It's like I know what you're talking about. That meme.
Yeah, like I just gotta put his hands in his pockets and we're good to go.
You're coming up to me. You're coming up right up to me.
Yeah. But I mean, considering the fact that like the majority of the animation that I do with this guy is gonna be pretty like, he's not gonna be doing a lot. I'm not too like bent up about the like things that aren't correct with him yet. There's just like, okay, so like one of the examples, you'll see it on stream in a moment.
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
So whenever I twist the body, like obviously like from here it looks fine, but like if I start going a little bit more to the extreme, you start noticing that the buttons kind of get all fucky.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, and I would rather than not get all fucky.
Like not stretch out like.
Yeah, like I was trying to figure out. I was like, okay, like I don't mind them moving because obviously they're going to move with the deformation of the shirt. But like, how do I get
fabric?
Yeah, but like, how do I keep them from like the models of the buttons from deforming? How do I get them just moving?
Yeah, but moving with the shirt instead of staying in like that one place.
Yeah, effectively.
Can you make him twerk? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, he doesn't really have butt cheeks, but like.
Damn.
Close enough.
You made this man without giving him a dumpy? Unsubscribe.
Hey, listen. All right, look, there you go.
I sliced to that. They stretched to like ungodly.
Oh yeah, fucking hang on, hold up, I got you. Away.
Well, and it hasn't. I haven't caught up to that yet. Let's see. Oh my god. Slender gerb.
Alolan Executor? Oh, he might be stuck. Normal Executor.
Like, well, this is the model now, guys. I hope you like it.
Good news, everybody. I'm 13 too.
If only. I can reach on top of the fridge now.
Yeah, I would love to die at 36. That sounds really fun. Yeah, so right now I'm trying to figure out, by the way, we're using new overlay stuff. I've still got to patch some of it up, which is currently what I'm doing, because right now it's not wanting to operate correctly.
Oh.
Correctamundo.
Correctamundo.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't save my stuff?
The doggy came up to me. Hi, Bailey.
Is okay.
She is healthy It was not cancer,
Nice.
the bump in her throat. It was just a pus-filled cyst, and they drained it. And from what I can tell, if I'm feeling right now, it hasn't come back. And they said that she's super healthy for her age, being 13. They just put her on some joint meds, and that's it.
Okay.
So we spent $500 just to find out that she was okay.
Oh, fuck it. Worth it.
Honestly, you're so expensive, Billy. Can you shit out that $500, please? In other news, I moved out of the whorehouse.
Nice.
Yeah, and my new place has cool roommate, and I can now officially play video games. And yeah, and it only cost me about $40 a month.
Wait, what cost you $40 a month?
All my bills, all of them.
Where did
Fucking
you?
internet.
Where did you move?
Into a house with 11 other people. And I know it sounds like a lot, but the house that I live in has 5, and then there's a little section in the back where a family of 6 lives. But it's all the same property.
Okay. I mean, fuck. $40 a month. Start saving some shit up.
Honestly, dude, fucking Christ. And then these stupid girls didn't even pay me for the bills today, even though I've been out of there for like 13 days. They haven't responded to my message, so I'm just gonna cancel all the utilities and let them fucking figure it out.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, fuck them, honestly.
I mean, they racked up the water bill to like 300 something. It's about to hit 400, so I'm gonna just have to pay that myself at this point.
Doing what?
Just all the late fees. They wouldn't fucking pay me.
Jesus.
Yeah, so they kept adding up. Bullshit. So I'm in a tough spot, but everything else in my life is going pretty good.
I
hope
mean,
you
like,
can't
honestly, you're
smile.
only in a tough spot for a second, right? Like, is this, like, is what you've got going on, like, optimal?
Yeah,
Like, do you like living at this place?
yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
do.
then you're good.
Do you want to go outside? Yeah, I'm honestly a lot happier than I was before. Hold on.
You're
Um,
fine.
I'm gonna get up to let baby the dog. Are you okay?
How are things going with you and Lauren?
Great.
Awesome.
A little bumps, but we're working through it. Come on, Billy. Let's go outside. I think she has to take a shit.
She has to take a fat shit.
Flush the toilet, Bailey.
Honestly, I mean, like, that's to be expected. So, I mean,
Yeah,
hell, like,
I mean-
Rachel and I still have, like, rocky moments here and there. But, I mean, it's nothing, like, you would otherwise, like,
Crazy.
think anything about.
Yeah. I think most of my issues are like I've been cutting back on the drinking a lot,
Yeah.
but then, like once a month, for whatever reason, like I'll have a lot of stress going on, and there's still a lot of stress, but I'm handling it appropriately. And I bottle up a lot of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, for some reason it'll just be like a random night, and I'll just be drinking, and the buzz makes me feel good, so I keep drinking. And when Cindy is drunk, drunk Cindy likes to talk about everything that's been bothering her for the past month.
Oh, yeah.
And just unload and burn everything in her path, and it was not okay. But instead of like blaming me for being drunk and screaming at him, like, well, I'm just really focused on the problems that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because I told him, I was like, look, I'm sorry, I should have brought it up a different way. Like, those problems are real. I just feel bad for like blowing up. And he's like, no, you're right. Like, I do need to listen. I do need to be different. Like, I just need to treat you better. And it was just mostly about like I was telling you, like the lack of intimacy, and then it was correlating with like an increase in his phone usage, and you know, like me coming from the relationship with John, like obviously that was a big fucking no for me, you know.
Yeah.
And we had, you know, I guess we had talks about it when I woke up, and he's been really like romantic, and yeah, also the lack of like romantic stuff has been increased a lot. Like
Good.
he's doing little things for me that I really appreciate. He took me out today. I don't know, it's just he was just really understanding, didn't villainize me for it or anything. She's peeing on their succulents.
Villainize you for what specifically?
Just for like getting drunk and you know just doing what John or somebody else like Gianni would have done, just blame me. You're like, no, you were just drunk. Like you were just being fucking stupid. You know, like kind of just ignoring what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Because you guys have seen me drunk on the stream. Like I'm just happy drunk. If anything, I just get more aggressive when I play video games. But you know, I
Yeah.
just kind of like roll away and pass out. And I don't know why I get like that. And that was really, it was really, I was really disappointed in myself. But like I said, like he didn't villainize me for getting drunk, and he didn't put the blame on me. Like he took responsibility for his shit that I was talking about, and I took responsibility for my shit, and we had a constructive talk. And it's the first time I've ever been with anybody that was like, I know you're drunk, but still, like you you know, you told me everything that was wrong and I need to fix it, as opposed to, like I said, blaming it on me, telling me I was just drunk, and just like kind of um, disregarding everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's
That was
good,
pretty
but I mean,
cool.
like, obviously, like, we've talked about this before, that, like, whenever you guys have legitimate problems, the fact that Juan likes to tackle it head on is obviously incredibly healthy.
Honestly, and I'm just so that I'm so happy and lucky, you know? Like, I couldn't have asked for a better person to be with.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of thinking about it.
For sure, dude. And I know that, like, every other person that I've been with, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so in love with them, and, like, they're just so great, you know? And, like, then they shatter, like, the delusion of like who they were, because that's like what I created. Obviously, like I mean that's a whole other topic in itself, but like Juan doesn't do that. Like he's exactly who he says he is, and like you said, he tackles all the problems like head on. We always talk about everything, and I don't know, like I've had like the rising bubbling feeling, like when we're just doing normal stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like anything, just hanging out, cleaning together, cooking together, or like even at the grocery store, just doing really mundane things. And like I'll get overwhelmed with this like feeling where I just look at him and my brain just goes like, that's yeah, like that's who I want to be with, like period, forever. That's it. This is it. But if anything showed me that, it was definitely that night and what followed after and what came from it that I like decided. And I've never felt this way about anybody, where I was like, yeah, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. So
How
that
long has it been,
in
anyways? 8 months?
we met in February.
7, I guess, roughly. I don't
Damn.
know. I'd
And
have
we
to.
started dating in, let me see, because I have it marked in my calendar. Falca. Whoopsie. I should know this. It's gonna be like crucial information in a year. Because we're gay like that. No, we started dating in July. July 5th. Like officially boyfriend, girlfriend. On Independence Day? What the fuck?
So, would you use that as your 1 year?
I mean, officially, yeah. Like out loud, yes,
Oh,
but
cool.
this whole thing has just been a process of like getting to know each other. and that started happening the moment that I met him.
Yeah.
In my head, that was what started everything. You know.
What day would you say that like you would want to use? Like the official day, or like the day you two like officially started seeing each other?
Well, definitely the day he asked me to be his girlfriend.
So the 4th of July.
5th.
Oh, the okay, 5th of July. Okay, gotcha.
Which was funny because everything in it had lined up. I don't know. I remember telling you guys that I marked it in my calendar for August, which is exactly 6 months from when I met him that I
Mhm.
gave him, and he asked me a month prior, a day after that date.
Right, we were talking about that.
Yeah, I was like, that's crazy. Everything just lined up. So I would have really loved for it to have been the 4th, you know, just because like I love patterns like that. But I'm still really happy. Like I don't know,
Celebrate
it
twice.
happened when it needed to.
You need to celebrate
Say that again.
twice. You can celebrate twice.
Why? Oh, that's right. I think I'm gonna do that anyways. I think like in February I'm gonna be like get him, you know, all this stuff, and he'll be like, "What's the occasion?" Like, it's the day I met you, idiot.
Yeah. So let's see.
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
double checking this really quick, and as long as it works the way it's supposed to, now that I've closed a couple things out, then we should be good. It does have a delay on it, unfortunately, which is kind of annoying, but
You know what it reminds me of right now?
good shit. What's up?
That audio from TikTok, where it's like the Winnie the Pooh, like they took my fucking eyes.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I said, you know what this model reminds me of, like right now, the
Oh,
way it looks?
oh,
It's a
right.
TikTok audio, and it's just Winnie the Pooh going, they took my fucking eyes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean this is pretty much what the model effectively looks like in 3D. And then basically what I would do is I would render this out, like whatever I have done animation wise, and then I would just animate over it in 2D. And then that's where I get the mouth and the eyes and the eyebrows and shit.
Man, just keep it in the T pose. Forget about it.
Yeah, because I mean that's effectively what I did for that test render.
It's true. Plus, it's like iconic. Ugh. Bailey, are you ready? Go inside. Come on. Come on. Good girl.
I've also been working on this, but I've still got a few more things I've got to like fix up with it.
Oh.
I actually do want to show you this.
Is that your house, bro?
I was kind of like, cause we'll be like moving soon, so I wasn't like worried about like trying to model like the room I'm in right now. So that'd be a fucking waste of time, because I would just have to do it again later. But I was like,
Yeah.
what would be like, I don't know, what kind of like shapes of rooms do I like make me feel like really like nice or feel like really nostalgic to me? And it's kind of like
A fantasy
I've always really liked the look of rooms that are like squared off, except for like the one facing outside most, where it has kind of this I don't even know how to describe this.
I know what you're talking about though, because I used to live in a room like that, where it was like a really squared off room, and then in the corner it had like a little hallway
Yeah.
that led to like a room that was like a step up, and it was like I guess like a step level higher, and that's where my bed was, and I had like windows surrounding it, and I was like, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like look at the fucking moon and shit before I went to bed, you know, because I do quirky stuff like that.
So yeah, this is effectively this is what this is supposed to be. And like when I go to do like scenes or animations, this is effectively what I'll be doing them in. Like, and the
Uh,
character will just be like hanging out in a particular spot. Like, obviously, like I'm still working on a chair for him to sit in right here, but then like I
yeah.
can have like a bunch of other shit. Like I've already thought about like taking like making quote unquote figurines of shit that I'm working on slash have worked on before or have shelved, and like putting them here, and then like maybe putting some music shit here, so that like that way there's multiple things that I can put around the room that kind of just make it feel like, oh yeah, this would definitely belong to him, and
That's
just
so
kind of like
cute.
filling out the room. And like probably what I decided I wanted to do today, I don't know how far along I'll get into it, but just kind of to have some flair. I mean, just to help fill the room out even more. I was thinking about making a model, like a full rig of Apollo, and like setting him up a bed right here, and just like in the background, like while I'm talking, just like having like some pre-made animations where like he's just kind of like laying there or just fucking with shit or like licking himself, just shit that's like happening in the background while like I may be like talking or going off on something.
That'd be awesome.
It would be.
Like him like readjusting and stretching out
Yeah,
before curling back up and like putting his little paws underneath himself or something.
yeah, effectively. Um,
That's awesome.
so like I mean like there's still a few things that I want to do before I'm like done, like I'm ready to start animating. But I mean like honestly, like all I need, I've already got. Um, I just want to fill out the space more because otherwise it feels weird not having all that space being taken up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like all I've basically been doing with this part of the project for the past minute has just kind of been like scene dressing.
Tidying up, if you will.
Of sorts, but I'm just kind of making it feel like it's like, oh yeah, this is definitely the room that he stays in.
Oh.
What I want to know now is why this isn't working the way it's supposed to.
Oh, I've been keeping up with Clive still, and it turns out that nobody wants to hire you when they figure out you have something that can be a terminal illness.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but it's funny because it's like the employer's like, "Oh, you might die, but you have an 82% of surviving, a percent chance of surviving." Uh, yeah, I think we're just gonna look at other candidates, bro. And then his school tried to kick him out for it.
I do remember that.
Yeah, fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Please
definitely
do.
really frustrating. Um, I mean, if you want me to be honest, I think there's plenty of other things that you could find like worth like not employing him, but that's just me. I mean, like as far as like West Virginia goes, he's perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's amongst his people.
Fucking based.
Clayton Clive Bigsby. I almost said Bitsby.
Wait, maybe that's what's happening. Maybe that's what I needed to fix. There we
How's
go.
Rachel?
She's doing really good. We got our second shots a couple of days ago, and she took the past 2 days off of work. Tomorrow's her last day, so she's only had like 2 days this week, so she's pretty happy
Yeah.
about that.
Did she get sick? Like, not really sick, but like a little icky.
What's
feeling?
really funny is that I don't know necessarily what you would call her, the physician, the lady who gave us the shot. She was like, did any of you have any reactions to COVID? Or the COVID shot, the first shot? And Rachel was like, it kind of made me dizzy and a little nauseous. I was like, I didn't feel anything, and of course Josh didn't either. She was like, well, typically what happens is people who had something happen in the first shot typically don't get it or get any illnesses or anything like that. and people who didn't feel it the first time really feel it. And I was like, oh, great. So then she was kind of like, haha, now you get to deal with it. I didn't feel anything, and she got sick again. So I was like,
Oh
I don't want to be
god.
a petty bitch, but haha. She's like, do you realize how quickly I could kill you? It's like, I know, but at this point, it's a game. If you break,
That's
I
what
win.
keeps me going.
Yeah, if you break, I win. So,
Yeah, that second shot kicked my ass. I remember I was here with Juan, like, fucking woke up in the middle of the night with a bitch ass fever. It was dumb. I hated it.
I think that was like the worst that I had was like a fever, and then like I was a little achy, but like that's normal just because of it being like your muscles that they're targeting.
Yeah,
Um,
for real.
but
My
yeah,
whole body was like, ugh. I didn't even go to the gym for like 3 days. I was fed up. I still had to work, but you know, I don't really do anything at my job, so.
yeah. Rachel had
Mm.
like a like she typically gets headaches anyways, but like she got a really big headache for this and just kind of felt like shit. She was like, I gotta be honest, like outside of a few things, I kind of feel like I've got the flu. That's kind of just what I feel right now. I was like, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she's feeling better.
Yeah, 100%.
I would still be careful, though, like just take the same precautions that you did. Because, like, my sister, um, well, my mom's a nurse, and she's the one that, like, treats people. Like, she wears, like, the hazmat suits and whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And, uh, my sister was vaccinated a long time ago. She got COVID last week.
How long
She was,
ago was
like,
she
fully
vaccinated?
vaccinated. Say that again?
How long ago was she vaccinated?
Like, not a week ago, but, shit, like, a couple months, to be honest.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then,
But it probably didn't like
she
hit
got,
her like any like bad at all. I would imagine.
say that again?
She probably didn't get hit bad with it at all. Like it didn't fuck with her that much.
Oh, I did.
Really?
Yeah, she was like bedridden and she like sounded like this. And I was like, oh my god, I called her. I was like, how you feeling? She's like, oh, not good. And I was like, oh, fuck me.
I
We were
mean,
really worried about her. I mean, like,
what
now
vaccine
she's
did she get?
feeling better, getting better, but it's just the fear of like pneumonia. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like what vaccine did she get?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you like what I ate yesterday, so I have no idea.
Because I mean, like if she got Johnson and Johnson, like that makes a lot of sense. But it would kind of just like bewilder me if like I've never really heard of anything like of somebody getting COVID before who got the vaccine beforehand um, and like had like a relatively similar experience to like somebody who just hadn't been vaccinated at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I just have to ask her. Because I got the, fuck, I already forgot what it's called. It's the one that starts with an M.
Moderna.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I got. And I've been fine. And I'm like terrible at like wearing my mask, fucking sanitizing surfaces. Like, I don't know what it is, but I just haven't gotten sick. And my sister does all of that, and she's like, I don't understand. I did everything I was supposed to.
Well, the problem is, unfortunately, when people don't do what they're supposed to, it makes it hard for everybody who does.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm a dirtbag. But I'm agoraphobic, so I don't even like leave the house that much. So in theory, like it's only like 1% my fault. Less than 1%.
I mean, listen, if you like, good on you for not having like gotten anybody sick or gotten yourself sick. But like, if somebody were to ask me, like, yeah, do you think that's okay? I'd obviously tell them no. Don't do what Cindy did.
No, don't do what I do. I've just gotten very lucky. That's all it is. Oh. Yeah, we were watching what was it? Oh, we were just watching it. Fuck, my memory's terrible now. Oh, Panyam. and
Nice. What
Juan was
did you
falling
think of it?
asleep. Yeah, he hasn't seen any of the Ghibli movies. So,
But I assume you've seen it before, with the way you're saying
oh
that.
yeah,
Okay.
fuck yeah, I love that movie. It's like like the Japanese My Little Mermaid, or The Little Mermaid or whatever.
Yeah.
And he he's he's basically like a 30, 40-year-old trapped inside of a 26-year-old body, because this man's bedtime is like as early as like 7 sometimes. He'll just start passing out. So he was laying on my lap for a bit. I was watching some TikToks. And I saw you streaming, so I was like, oh, I should talk to him since, I'm alone now.
Oh no. Do you? Oh no. Okay. So, um, I'm trying. Keyword trying. To like get started on what I was talking about earlier, the like setting up a model for Apollo. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, I had to set that up in a way to where it makes sense for a cat, like, because I'm not drawing him, or like I'm not animating him like the way I would like the other version. Like this is gonna be like actually Apollo. So I looked up like cat T-pose, with the hopes that I would find like the pose you're supposed to set cats in so that you can like rig them up the right way.
Yeah.
What I instead found,
Oh, it's not pulling up for me yet. Oh, I just got it. Oh. Are you gonna do it?
no,
What?
I
It
know.
looks like a it looks like a side boss.
Did you, you know what? Have you ever seen Fairy Tale before? I know you're kind of into anime.
No, I'd never seen it, unfortunately.
There's into later seasons. There's a so one of the quote unquote cute characters of the show is a blue cat. Um, it's kind of like chibi like in appearance, named
I think
Happy.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
There's like companion cats that like a lot of the other main characters get, and one of them happens to be like a really like buff version of Happy that is like a tuxedo cat, and that's what that cat reminds me of.
Let me see. What's the tuxedo cat's name?
Um, Give me a minute. Let me look that up.
Yeah, because if you could just show me, it'd be a lot funnier.
Panther Lily.
Panther of Lily.
No, Panther Lily. It's just the name of the character.
Oh, okay.
Hang on,
Look
I'm
it
gonna
up.
send it to you.
Oh, bet. Yeah, it's a lot easier.
About to send it to somebody else. They're about to get buff cat for no reason.
Do you think this looks like Apollo? He's so comfortable on that couch. I don't know how this man does that.
I sent it to you, by the way.
Okay, I haven't gotten it yet.
I had to double check it and fucking sent it to somebody on accident, anyways. Even though I tried so hard not to.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
This zip file still downloading. Because once I get that, I can actually start playing like my actual music and people. I had to listen to the Bloodborne OST. I almost said ODST. Like, what is this fucking Halo?
Are there people on the YouTube stream watching?
There's a couple people watching.
Oh, bet.
I just don't know.
I didn't know.
They're not chatters, so.
Oh.
Uh,
Lurking.
do I have a cat? Please tell me I have a cat. Yes. Okay.
Your other, where are your other homies at?
Are you on Twitch or YouTube?
Twitch.
Then they're probably on YouTube. That's gotta be negative.
Ow. I'm making the terrible mistake of poking at my cuticles, and I'm putting myself through immense pain for no reason.
Okay, so what I just did is I ultimately just found on Blender they have a set of rigs that you can use, and I'm just gonna use that. Fuck it.
Oh.
Or not
look
like
at that.
the rigs, but well yeah,
Like
the
the
rigs like
skeleton kind
yeah, and it'll just kind of give me like a baseline for like, oh, this is how effectively I need to. So basically, just have them like standing like normal. Like I don't have to do anything extravagant. Okay, cool.
of. Oh, you know that how they used to change superheroes used to change into their super suits before like going up to fight crime. Like it would be like this little like a Tasmanian devil kind of animation where you just spin around and then they're suddenly like
Like a Wonder Woman thing.
yeah. Do that with Apollo. That should be one of his animations where he does that and he like leaves
Oh yeah, that's
the
actually.
frame.
I actually pulled this up. Do you have the stream open right now?
I do.
Alright.
I'm watching. My God.
So, I think I told you about the figurines I was planning on making. I was wanting to do like
Yeah.
really like expensive ones. Like if you were to buy one of these, it'd be like $200.
Yeah.
But like, this is what I was planning on doing for Apollo. This is just like a block out. But like, this is one
That's
that
fucking awesome.
yeah, it's really fucking cute. I actually plan to start on that here in a little bit, but right now we're just working on what we're working on. I'm a touch aimless tonight, so that's why I mentioned at the beginning I'm probably not going to be streaming for very long, just because I don't really have like a set goal. I'm just trying to get some of this shit figured out.
Right.
Now that I've got the character ready to go, I kind of have like all I really need to do with him is just like do some test animation and make sure that everything that he does works the way it's supposed to. Oops.
Right.
I should probably. There we go.
Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Damn.
What's up?
Ow. No, like I said, I was just picking at my cuticles and I'm just. I'm trying to clean my nails up and I'm just. You know when you pick at a cuticle and it like goes all the way up past your cuticle and like towards your knuckle?
Yeah.
What they're doing right now. Oh!
Stop doing that.
I'm sorry.
Ah, it's still going. Damn it.
But I must.
But I must.
Ooh.
You ever seen Earwig and the Witch?
No.
It's a 3D
What
Ghibli.
is?
It's a 3D Ghibli movie. That's effectively how I'm probably gonna end up doing Apollo. Pretty similar to that. I'll send you a picture.
Yeah, do that. That way I can watch that movie too. Because I know they have all the Ghibli movies on and Netflix. So, I mean, not Netflix, HBO.
I'm gonna be
So.
perfectly honest with you. Most people don't like that movie. I think it's perfectly fine. I genuinely think that if, like you're just shitting on it because you think it's soulless, then you genuinely don't know what you're talking about.
You should recommend Grave of the Fireflies to those people as revenge.
Yeah. I mean, most of these people are generally, what's the word I'm looking for? Like Ghibli diehards, but like more so like Hayao diehards.
I'm not getting the notifications for your Discord messages and it's pissing me off.
It could potentially be because you're in the thing with me.
Oh man, Discord. If you're gonna act like this, I'm definitely not getting Nitro. That's all I'm saying.
If you're gonna be a little bitch.
No soup for you.
It's kind of like, imagine if Gigi was 3D. That's kind of effectively how this cat looks. And it's effectively what I'm going for. Kiki's cat.
Oh, yes. It's like a little black cat. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I burped. I said it's like a little black cat, right?
Yeah.
Mm. Owie. Cylindrical object.
Basically.
Ow, 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 ow. Why? Ow. Now they can enjoy music and the sound of me torturing myself. It's like reverse ASMR. Like stuff you wouldn't want to hear, you know?
Are you able to... It's probably like a lot to do, so if you can't, obviously I get it. Are you able to listen to music right now?
Me? I could.
There is a artist coming out with a new album, or a band coming out with a new album, rather. Let me rephrase that. On the 17th. I'm super into this band. I think you might be as well. So if you're interested, I can recommend you a couple of things. If you're not interested at the moment, then I can recommend it to you later.
Yeah, do it now. That way I don't forget. Because I'm always looking for new music, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the song that I would recommend to you, which works perfectly because it's not going to be on the new album for what reason I don't know. That's not important. Look up Spirit Box, Rule of Nines.
Say the name again?
All right. So the name of the band is Spirit Box, all one
Spirit
word.
Box.
And the name of the song is Rule of Nines.
Roll 9.
RULE space OF space NINES.
Oh, okay, I got it. Add it to my Jerb playlist.
Yeah.
Ow. You know that like one time where we like just spitballed songs back and forth? That's a weird way to put it. When we showed each other songs.
Pause. Yeah, that was really great, and I missed doing that.
Me too. Just haven't had the time, the energy.
Well, now that you only owe like $40 fucking an hour or a month on your shit, and you've got shit saved up, maybe you can drop some of these fucking shit jobs and make some time.
Yeah, honestly. I was thinking about going back to streaming again, and I just don't know. It's been different since Nick died. I'm sure everybody has noticed that.
Yeah. But I think like if it's something that like you want to do and it makes you happy, then do it, you know? At least give it another try. And like if you're open with it, like, hey, just giving this another try, just listen, like if nothing comes out of this, don't be surprised. But just letting you guys know that like we're gonna give this one more shot.
Yeah, that'd be true. That's actually a good idea. I know I probably wouldn't be, like my schedule would suffer and it wouldn't be like consistent. or like have a specific schedule, but it would just be like, I feel like streaming today, you know?
You know what? Like, honestly, like, the one thing that I would tell you, like, is the most important part. Like, don't worry about anything else. Just, like, focus on um, getting some stuff outside of Twitch. Because, like, you're not going to get, like, found anywhere on Twitch. And as long as you're, like, aware of that and you're making stuff for, say, like, TikTok or YouTube, just like stream highlights of sorts, then you should be fine.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's actually a really good idea.
Because like you can't, like you're not gonna get discovered on a large scale on Twitch because it just doesn't have the means necessary.
That's true. I mean, not anymore.
It never did. The unfortunate thing is that, like, in order to find a particular person's stream, like let's say like somebody at my size or your size, they have to go to Twitch, they have to go to a particular category, and they have to go from like typically the way that Twitch sets it up is person with the most views downward. But you can obviously flip that the other way around. So somebody has to go to Twitch, go to that specific category, whether it's a game or art or whatever, see the top streamers, flip that upside down, and then like scroll through a couple, because there's people even like, well, I'm streaming to like 2 people right now. Let's just assume for a moment those people are on Twitch. That if I have 2 viewers, it obviously means that somebody probably has like 0 or maybe 1 viewer, and there's like a couple of those. They're just streaming to nobody right now. Like those people would be the first. So like let's say you've got like 10 people, like you're like smack dab in the middle of like either the top views or the does this one not have a oh, that's gonna be a problem. Okay, we'll skip this. Well, no, this one has a.
Okay, his ears are so small. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, I think that's just like the rigs for it. But I think like the head that I've got right now is admittedly pretty small.
Small brain Apollo. Baby, why didn't you move to the bed, my love?
Apollo, admittedly, for his size, has pretty large ears anyway, so I'm probably gonna like. What should I even do those in?
You never showed me a picture of Apollo. And you've said that you would send me one before, you never did.
Right,
and I'm really sad. Yeah.
Alright, I got you. Give me a
minute. That's funny. He said, I got you, give me a minute. And then on your stream it was just like this big cube. Just when I happened to look at it too, it was just like, oh. Nice cat, bro.
Thanks.
He's with all those 90-degree angles, he's really the right cat for you, right?
Yeah.
I hate myself. I'll see myself out. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
I miss Tony.
Yeah, I don't know where he is right now. Like, there are times where he'll kind of just lurk and hang out, but...
Other times than must, no?
I haven't seen him in a while. I mean, like, he, like, talks about, like, how he's lonely and how he wishes that we could, like, do more stuff, but I mean, like... I don't know, I mean, like, I'm generally not playing anything. Like, the most I do is I play AFK RuneScape just to like do shit on the side. But then I'm mostly either working or streaming, but he never like wants to hang out. I don't know.
You guys need your glue back?
I mean, like, I'm. Who's here now? Hold up.
Long time no
Oh.
see.
There he is.
Tony, hello.
Hello.
See? Now, you want to talk all this shit, Jared? No, I'm just kidding.
Tony knows I have this shit like available for him to come in at any point.
Yeah, Tony.
No, I can't. Because you're usually in the, like, mod section, and I can't talk.
I used to do that, but like once you guys started like making like I want like to come in or I want to like hang out. Like I haven't like been in the mod section for like a month, at least.
Well, then I must have not been checking.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. Oh, he's so cute. What a nice little boy.
What a nice blockhead.
Basically, he can be a blockhead. He's his new favorite pastime is hopping on top of the fucking refrigerator.
Oh my god. Put tinfoil up there. You won't ever touch that shit again, promise you.
What the cat doing?
What the cat doing?
Trying to see if I have like any like I have a couple more. I'll have to send them to you like off stream.
Yeah, no worries. He's got some nice socks, man.
He does.
Is that Hanes for the balloon?
I think that like I think I've mentioned this to you before. I think one of my favorite things about the way Apollo looks is that he's got that hard shape on his chest. Like the orange separates like to the white, and the white's just like a hard shape on his chest.
Never showed me.
He looks like
That's honestly the conversation I feel like would have led to me asking to see him.
yeah, maybe.
You know me, I'm a sucker for hearts. How have you been, Tony?
I guess living. I've started to work out, I guess.
Nice.
Oh, Tony, getting the fucking pump, bro.
No, nothing like serious. Just my mother does these like videos like of stretching and stuff, so I do it with her.
That's awesome. That's still really good. You can lose weight
Yeah.
like that, and it's good for mobility, which I know I need a lot of help with.
Yeah.
My hips are so stiff.
I've done like a ton of yoga over the course of my life, and like even though like I'm definitely not in the shape that I should be, like I'm significantly more flexible than Josh. He's rigid like a board compared to me. Like I can fucking touch my toes and just fucking like play piano on them bitches, and he's like, I can't get past my knees. It's like, dog, you're getting lazy. Pause.
Pause.
Pause. Get it? Cause it's cat.
I don't know why the last FM thing is freaking out, but if you are going to do this to me, then clearly maybe it's not showing up. Surely I'm not gonna have to do this.
Model,
like-
not us. I was like, well, shit.
No, do you see the thing in the bottom right hand corner that's just kind of white and useless right now?
Me? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
So for whatever reason, it's not showing anything. Even though I've clearly got music going. Hang on, let me pull something up from the Silent Hill shit and see if like maybe it's just like, because it's possible that like the Bloodborne DLC stuff is what's messing up right now.
Hmm.
But then I don't really have anything for this either. But the problem is that like iTunes is a fucking bastard when it comes to like adding artwork. Because I've tried this before for this specific reason, and
Ow. I think I should stop. Everything hurts now.
What should you stop?
Messing with my nails.
So like now
Much
it's
for the more.
so like now it's working, and like what's weirder is that like it's pulling up images I don't even have on iTunes.
Uh-oh. Saucy pics? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, technically.
What the fuck are my notes doing on iTunes? I cracked myself up, guys. I'm so funny.
Oh, what's that? A fucking artwork with 2 inches of my dick is the album cover. I guess we're gonna have to watch for the next 10 minutes for like the rest of the songs. They're short songs, so the album art will go really fast. So there's a lot of them.
And it's got like some grainy filter, so it looks like some indie, some obscure indie band album cover.
I could totally, you joke about that. I could legit see somebody doing that.
Yeah. It's like from Parks and Rec, Andy, when he's in the band, and like at some point their band was named Just the Tip. That's definitely. That's definitely what I picture the album cover being. Like just like a micropenis. Get it? Just the tip. That like the tip is the whole thing.
That's hilarious, actually.
But I'm so. I'm great. I'm great. I wish I felt like this all the time.
I'm gonna start this over and see if like me adjusting this fixes anything. Hang on. I'm fucking with some shit for a moment.
I'll probably be going to sleep here in about an hour. Oh, just because I gotta be up at 8 for the gym and then
Yeah,
gonna run from the couch to the bed because I don't want to get all stiffy.
pause. I don't think I'll be on. Like that'll probably be about the. Okay, cool. That worked.
Excuse me, what?
I'll have to figure a lot of this out. What are you confusing with what I said?
Because you said like, I think that I'm not gonna be on. I think I off. So that's how that works. Okay.
This is why I shouldn't like do like multiple things at a time. So it worked as far as like me fixing up the particular part of the iTunes stuff. So that worked the way I needed it to. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on it, but probably not very much longer.
Take your time. I'm just glad to be hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't redeem my fucking points. What the fuck?
Yeah, because I don't, I'm not an affiliate anymore.
Oh, that's right. God, I'm so stupid. How could I forget that? Well, if anybody's simping for me, like they were before, they're definitely not now.
Yeah. Oh no, she's a lame brain. That's what they're thinking right now. That's what you've made them think.
And I was just about to overlook the C cup deal.
The what? Oh.
Oh shit. One has this air dispensary, like, or this air freshener dispenser, and I'm not really sure when the last time he refilled it was. But like, it still works, you know? The batteries in there made of it, they last forever. It's been like since I met him that this shit's been scaring me. Some days I remember it's there, and other days I just hear the and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I'm still here.
I probably shouldn't be doing this right now. I should probably like put this off till later. I mean, like really focused on like, all right, I should really change the names of these songs so they actually work with it.
Yeah,
They're supposed to,
focused
but
on Apollo.
we're done with this for now.
He is a good boy,
He is a good boy.
and he's not jumping on the fridge.
Little bastard.
And he's a bad boy.
What the
Oh no, is
heck?
this where you tell me you're attracted to my cat because it's jumping
No.
on my
No, no, no.
because
Oh,
it's jumping on
naughty,
my fridge
naughty,
like a fucking
please, naughty,
Chad?
naughty. Fucking, I love that video.
You know what have you ever watched The Whitest Kids You Know?
The what?
The Whitest Kids You Know?
No, it's not. The title sounds familiar, like I've heard of it.
I'm gonna send you a video. I'm gonna send Tony a video, and you're gonna recognize the thing. You're gonna recognize it just off of like this one thing. Anyways, one of the actors in it, like the primary one, if I would, passed away. I think last month.
Yikes.
Yeah, it feels really bad. Okay, I've got two to send you. I don't know if I can technically play this on stream without catching some shit for it, but
Permaban.
it wouldn't be a permaban, it would just be a strike.
I've, oh, there it is. Oops, I did it again. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I keep looking at the cat.
Which
It's
one?
the cat. Your cat.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. I have seen this.
And then there's also this, which I think is a little bit more relatable to us. My favorite bit of the Lincoln one. Where are you going, Skinny? Where are you going, you fat piece of shit? I love that. Oh my god.
I love it. I'm so happy you reminded me of that because you know, like when you see something really good, but it doesn't stick around in your brain like other things do. That was definitely one of them, and now I have it again.
Let me figure out which one of the guys it is. I think it's John. Yeah, John's the one that passed away.
I have to watch this. Let me see. Fucking news.
Enough. Where the fuck did it go? That might be overkill. $10,000. Let's go with. Okay, that should be good. Whoops.
I love this. The guy in the middle is definitely me.
Why do you have to do this?
Fucking select your hero. Me. Alright guys, I gotta go to the restroom real quick. It's gonna take me like 2 seconds.
Bro, I gotta piss.
Has conversation
You piss
with somebody on the phone. Yeah. Or when Jerb mutes himself. Ew, my allergies. I cannot breathe. Hello, I am under the water. Help me.
under the water, help me.
My god. Honey, have you been liking the TikToks I've been sending you?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
He never said whether or not he's been liking them.
He said yeah.
Okay.
Well, some of them. I know some of them aren't really his taste. I still send them to him.
You just have some cursed ones that I send some to.
Oh, like the vor one? Dude, that literally made me
Yeah.
like gag. Oh.
I don't want to know.
I'm gonna send it to
It's
you
like
anyways.
Oh, I'm not gonna watch it.
it's like so bad that I can't. I need other people to see it. I need other people to
Yeah.
cringe with me.
Just to live with the fact that you saw it. I feel that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh.
god, excuse me.
Also, don't forget to watch or listen to either way.
The
that band,
song.
yeah.
I added it to my Dread playlist. And then
In fact, I want
I
you to
spend a
listen
lot
to
of
it
time
on
in my
stream.
library anyways. So I go through all my playlists and I like sort out all my videos. I think I have like 1,472 videos. So I'm gonna go back. Oh, what? Bailey, why are you crying? Shush. Anyways, I will listen to it, I promise.
Let's do it
And I'll
now.
show Juan too.
Listen to it now.
Okay. Mm. You know, Chick-fil-A didn't pass the vibe check with the whole like being an homophobic thing, but like they also didn't pass the vibe check making onion rings because this Chick-fil-A sauce is busting with these onion rings.
Oh, is it the Polynesian sauce?
No, it's the actual Chick-fil-A sauce.
So the Polynesian sauce.
It's not Polynesian, it's the Queenie one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A is kind of the Nintendo of fast food restaurants. Like, their policies are dog shit, and they're run by monkeys, but they make good shit. So it's
That's
hard. It's
true.
hard not to like them.
That's why I try to stay away from like what Nintendo does and I focus on like what they make.
Yeah. Fortunately, though, they're kind of getting shown up in all their like best shit. Like, oh, Pokemon kind of sucks right now. Okay, well we got. I can't think of what the name of the thing is. Hold up. There's a new game coming out that's basically. Temtem.
You
Which
okay,
is
honey? Okay.
and then you have and then it's like I really don't like what Nintendo's doing with Smash Brothers and like how they're treating the community. Oh well, you got this Nickelodeon game coming out. You heard anything about that?
Hold on.
Okay.
What was that, Melon? Mm-hmm. Yeah, your nap lasted like 3 hours. That's a good nap.
A good nap, my dude.
Others. I got it, honey. I'm just listening to this song that Jerb showed me, and then I'm gonna turn it off. Really? She's drinking so much water. Diabetes, Bailey? Yeah, she looked at my onion rings and licked her chops. Nice. This song is great. I like it. And also, no, I did not hear about that game. What is it?
It's basically a Nickelodeon Smash Brothers.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not like Nickelodeon or?
I do. It's just like what Nickelodeon characters are they gonna do? Because like, I haven't really kept up with it, obviously. So So is it all the OG ones, or did they have new shows that I don't know about? So like some characters and be completely like a stranger to me.
Yes and no. So let me pull up the roster for you. I think there's quite literally like, if they put 2 characters into this, I think I'm like that aren't into it right now. I think I'm perfectly happy with it. Nickelodeon All Star Brawl.
That All Star, part of the title, makes me pretty relieved because it implies that they would be putting really old characters in there too.
Yeah, so you'll see because I'm about to list them off. So SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Leonardo, Mike.
Sandy?
Huh?
Sorry, honey.
Oh.
No, he's Were you sleep talking or were you? No. Okay. Yeah. So apparently, Jerby's telling me that they're making a Nickelodeon Smash Brothers, basically.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and April from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh shit.
And their appearance is more like the old show, like the theme song that Chuck Lorre did, like back in like the late 80s, early 90s. Ablina from Ah Real Monsters. Aang.
That's an old one down.
Yeah, Aang and Korra from Avatar. Cat Dog. Danny Phantom. Helga from Hey Arnold.
Oh shit, yeah.
Zim from Invader Zim.
Oh, yes.
Lincoln and Lucy Loud from the Loud House. Reptar from the Rugrats.
Oh my god.
Nigel from the Wild Thornberries.
I think I'm about a bush.
And then finally Ren, Stimpy, and Powdered Toast Man from Ren and Stimpy.
Okay, you know what? I like. This is definitely gonna be sick.
But like my favorite thing about this game so far is that like they're like, oh, Nintendo doesn't like being like Smash Brothers being addressed as a competitive game. We're gonna lean into that shit. So like they've even incorporated like wave dashing. So like if you're familiar with Smash Brothers at all, wave dashing is basically a move that you used to be able to do in Melee that lets you just move around like super quick. And it's like a very competitive thing.
It is. And even though I know how to do it, like I know the button input, it's still hard for me to execute it like consistently. And I don't like that. That's why I stopped playing it. Because I wasn't good. So I became a sore loser and I just didn't bother.
Did you ever listen to that song, by the way?
I told you I was. I already did.
Oh,
I said it was good. I really liked it. I like her voice a lot.
What were your general thoughts?
I thought her voice was good. And then I watched a lot of the music video. I just think it's a good song. I like it. Is there other stuff like the same tempo and like kind of vibe, or does it vary?
Kind of. They're very dynamic, which I think is really good. So then like I would say this is like relatively like towards the harder edge of their stuff. But they have songs that are heavier than this, and then they definitely have songs that are much lighter than this.
I think I will start to give them a fat listen. I'm adding this to my favorites.
Which one?
That way I remember.
Which one is your favorites?
The song you showed me, I said I think I'm gonna add it to my favorites.
Oh yeah. It is really good. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't want to put it on the new album, but like they've got a lot of good songs on the album, so it's whatever.
Courtney LaPlante?
I think it's LaPlante.
She's very pretty.
Yeah.
God, I wish that were me. No, I'm just kidding.
If you want to get a general idea for like what's gonna be on the album,
Mm-hmm.
hang on. Sorry, trying to make sure there's something kind of fucky about this.
Sorry if I'm stuffing my face too loudly.
You're good. So on
Okay.
Spotify, there should be some of the music from their new album coming out. Just look for it. It's called Eternal Blue. Is the name of the album.
Eternal Blue or Eternal Bloom?
Blue, BLUE.
Mm. Eternal Blue. Alrighty. Yeah, that I might have to wait on because I can't listen to it while watching the stream and talking to you guys.
I got you. No rush.
But also, if you don't do it, I'll never forgive you. Okay, fine, Bailey. You can have some of the fish of this fucking onion ring. Okay, here. Do you understand the only reason why I didn't share with you is because you can't have onions? Jesus.
There we go.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be very interesting. I've never modeled a cat before, so this is gonna be a very.
But you have drawn one. Haha. No. Okay. No. No. Did you get that one? Okay. This is a part where I end my life in a video game.
The video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta remember that part.
Mm-hmm.
I totally got what you were going for, by the way. I didn't want to address it.
I'm just happy that you got it. I remember your secrets, dude.
Thank you.
I mean, the only reason why I remembered in a video game is because I say that, like, in my day-to-day life. And people are like, what the fuck? I'm like, sorry.
It's genuinely a good phrase.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to be more aggressive with the things that you say without having to, like, really be bothered with, like, oh, if I say this, who am I gonna affect?
Piss off.
Yeah.
I'll be stub your toe in a video game, bro.
Because if you like, if you say it, then like, well, I mean, with that, that's the kind of thing I would genuinely say. I hope you fucking stub your toe. But with like something you could actually get the like you get the shit beaten out of you for, or you get put in jail for.
Right. Like, I hope your dog dies in a video game. No, that's still kind of mean. Cameron Rogers, huh? I'm gonna have to look into this true crime case. That's also been another one of my hobbies now. I have delved deeply into the world of true crime videos.
Hey, you could always do that on stream if you really wanted to.
That's true, huh? I would just have to get the setup for it.
Because there's at least one streamer I know that does it, and I
There's a
think,
girl, right?
yeah, Bose.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on.
Because, but my problem is that I don't want to sit there and like react and be like, oh my god, I can't believe it, you know? Like I even when I show Juan, and he talks about like, or we'll talk about like why that person did that, or some of the deceptive behaviors. Like when I show him Jim can't swim, and he notices a timer after a question, like a really open-ended question is asked of this like person that committed the crime,
Yeah.
I'll explain to him like, yeah, well, people who are innocent or like have nothing to hide will usually answer like very quickly and get straight to the point. Whereas a person who's trying to be deceptive or who's guilty will like drag on their answer for like over a span of minutes, like trying to seem more genuine about anything other than the answer they just gave you because it's false.
Right.
Like also, so, would you have ever thought about hurting this person? Like, no, you know what, like, not at all, because she was a really good person, and I even remember, like, this one time that she let me, like, borrow the keys to her house because I couldn't shower anywhere, and, it was because I lost my job. I ended up losing that job because, it's just like, who the fuck asked you? I just say no. So, I really like the analysis part of it, where you learn about their body language and, like, different tactics that interrogators will use depending on, like, what the person did or the gender of the person or whether it's going to be 2 interrogators or 1, and like I don't know, it's very interesting to me. It is honestly like one of my favorite hobbies now, one of my pastimes.
Do you feel like that applies for like if somebody feels like something needs prefacing, like say for example like let's ask that same question, would you ever hurt this person, and they were like, God no, after everything she's done for me, and then they go into that same tangent of like, I remember there was a time where I didn't have anything, and then they did all this for me. And it's like, yeah, sure, they didn't necessarily ask for it, but like you're like seeing into that person's mind of like, this is like, no, I would never hurt this person, and this is why.
Mm-mm. Not at all, because usually when they start to ask questions like that, in every interrogation, almost always, like, it won't start off with questions like that. It'll just be asking, like, how do you know this person? Like, what do you know about them? Like, do you know about their personality? It's just, like, they build up to it, and by the time that they're asking you questions about, like, would you have done this, or would you have ever hurt her, or why did you do it? It's like they've already put the blame on you. Like, they're already let you know either subliminally or very, very straightforward, in a very straightforward manner, that they're seeing you as a suspect, that they are seeing you as like an accomplice or the person that committed the crime. Like, so at that point, like anybody who's innocent, and the moment, and people aren't stupid, the moment that they realize that the questions that you're asking or the tone of your voice or the way that you're saying it, you're accusing them of something that you didn't do, you're going to be like, God no, like after all she's done for me, like, are you serious? Why would I do that? I would never do that.
Yeah.
Like they usually get very emotional, and they get, like very straight to the point, like, no, I didn't do this. Like, even in the interrogations of people that are innocent of the crimes, there's stuff in their body language and the way that they answer, like there's just a whole stack of things to look at to tell if that person is telling you the truth and is being genuinely honest and not deceptive. Whereas without fail, every time, the moment that you start to make somebody feel like you're accusing them or questioning them and like viewing them in that light,
Yeah.
they will do everything in their power to get the spotlight off of them. And which will always be like I said, innocent person says, no, why would I do that? Like, I would never do something like that. Whereas a deceptive person would be like, no, I would never do anything like that. Like, she's an amazing person. Like, she used to help me out with my rent, and it was really, really, really helpful for me because I was, in a place where I lost my job. And as a matter of fact, like, that job was really far away, so she didn't have to do that. She also likes to volunteer at the food drive. I mean, it's like you can also, that's why the timers are there too, because they've broken it down into like a science, obviously, because that's what criminal psychology is. And there's no way like you wouldn't be able to discern that. Like, there would be a huge difference in how a guilty and innocent person would answer. So,
Do you think it's possible for somebody to be able to take that knowledge, like say there was a JCS video on this like a couple months back where I don't remember if I think she was a detective.
Her
But
name was definitely Lazarus.
do you think it's possible? Okay, that's what I figured. Do you think it's possible that somebody could take that information and either use it to their benefit? Like, let's say, for example, that like in that same scenario where like a detective like kills somebody.
No, she did, and it was very personal, by the way.
Yeah.
It was the estranged lover of the person that she was interested in, and she ended up actually dating that guy, but it didn't last, and she ended up marrying somebody else.
Yeah.
And she was questioned about it like years later. So yes, I do feel like there's an advantage, especially it depends on like your connections.
I mean, granted,
stuff
like
like
this
that.
lady flopped like a motherfucker, but like I'm just saying, like somebody who's maybe like a little bit more cognizant of what's happening.
And see, I've thought about that. You know, and I don't want to sound weird, but I've just thought about it, like knowing the things that I know, like whether or not I'd be willing to put myself in that situation just to see if it like happens. You know, like do like a mock interrogation. Like you know, nobody probably ever does that, but I've thought about myself in that scenario, and just with the knowledge that I know, like I know it wouldn't work. You know, excuse me, for a number of reasons. A lot of the times when you're attempting to be or come off as like innocent because of the stuff you know, it's really hard. And JCS even commented on this, I believe, when it was, let's see if I can go back to the specific case. Basically the gist was is like he knew how to seem more genuine, how to seem less deceptive, like just, you know, like really basic terms. But what will always get you is that the interrogator knows what they're doing, like 100%. Right? If you get a good interrogator, because there are times where you get a horrible one. You know, like people have been convicted when they've been innocent. There are people that don't handle interrogations the way that they're supposed to, like they don't take the steps or they don't adhere to plans like that. But, you know, in a normal case where you get a good interrogator and he's good at his fucking job, he's gonna end up picking you apart no matter what, especially if you've done the crime and even if you know what you're doing.
Right.
Because I've actually seen it in, let's see, I'm trying to look for the case right now. I think it was No, it was Michael Dunn as one of them. He was at a gas station with his wife, and like there was like a group of teenagers in a, well, they weren't teenagers, but they were pretty young people, like around Tony's age, in a car, bumping really loud music.
Well, she's implying there, Tony, is that you're really young.
Say that
Are you
again?
calling me a criminal?
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
I digress. Shit, what was I talking about? Sorry. Oh yeah. So he like gets out of his truck and like goes into the gas station, whatever, comes back. And they have like an interaction, and there's still a lot of speculation about like what actually happened. But his side of the story was that he had asked them to turn the music down, and that they said something like they said that like, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna kill you, like I'm gonna shoot you, you know. So this guy like gets out his and they were already drunk, by the way, like they had actually gone to the gas station to get more drinks.
Yeah.
And so he gets his gun and he shoots at the vehicle, killing one of those kids by shooting through the door. He ends up dying.
Yeah.
Michael Dunn, right off the bat, like when he gets called in for the interrogation, like he knows he's guilty, right? And because there's so much, God, there's so much to think about that's running in my head, like different scenarios. Because what you're saying is like, oh, if you know, like how to act and what to say and like what they're gonna ask you, or like around the, you know what you're getting into. Like, could you be deceptive? Like, could you deceive them? And the only reason why the answer is always no is because like him, he went in there, and this is the route he took, where he knew he was guilty, but he was trying to make it seem like they did make a threat on his life. But what it really came down to is that people can't hide their personality. People cannot hide things that they do habitually and like subconsciously, like mannerisms. You know what I mean? So
maybe unless you're like a sociopath. Like severe,
even...
like almost like a what's the dude's name? The Christian Bale American Psycho dude. Like on that, like obviously like that's hyperbole, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, but actually, like the weird part about that is that a lot of people don't know that that's not a really good example of somebody who's a sociopath. It was called American Psycho, but it was actually a depiction of somebody who was developing psychosis.
That's fair.
Yeah, which is like completely different from being a sociopath. Because the thing is that when you're a sociopath, you're a compulsive liar, you're manipulative. You can change your demeanor depending on the person that you're interacting with, but you will feel one out of the three emotions that like makes you a psychopath if you don't feel any of them. But you're always going to either feel guilt, remorse, or shame.
So I should probably preface that. So like I don't necessarily mean like you've seen it before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily mean what's what's happening like towards the end, but more so like his beginning monologue, where it's like any emotion they exhibit is entirely fabricated. The only emotions I genuinely feel are rage and like envy. It's something along the lines that he has an entire monologue on it. But just somebody like that, like who basically like goes through life like acting a certain way, but like in reality, like as soon as they go home, like face just drops into like emotionless.
Oh, like if somebody like that could do that, then again, like I'm really gonna stick to my answer and say no, because obviously, if we're using the movie as an example, like I said, you wouldn't be able to hide the parts of your personality that have become cemented in you. Like, yeah, he can be really nice to people's faces, but like as soon as some guy has like a big dick fucking business card in front of him, like he looks like he wants to murder everybody in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something is always going to tap a nerve, or something is always going to show the person that you're talking to that like you're being disingenuous, or that you're vulnerable, basically. So like if you were trying to not like Michael Dunn, because the thing that gave him away was the way he talked about it. You know what I mean? Like the way he talked about these kids and like how he wasn't even like racist or anything. Like he was really just trying to talk himself up, make himself like seem like a nice guy, but everything that he said just gave him away because it obviously was not true.
Mm-hmm.
And the mannerisms, like I said. So the things that would give somebody like that away would be the cadence in their voice and the way that they answer questions, the way they sit in a chair, if they keep eye contact with you when they're talking, and see that you can control. But when it comes to if an interrogator realizes that you're a little too good at it, they actually plan out the questions, and they plan out the interrogation. Like a really good interrogator would do that. And the way that I see it, every time that I watch a case that's like that, there's always something that catches the person off guard, and there's a break, there's like a chink in that armor, and then their real personality seeps through. Like with a good fucking example is actually going to be Jodi Arias. She's the
name
girl that
sounds
killed her
familiar.
boyfriend.
Is this
Sorry?
the Sorry, go ahead. Just I think I'm thinking of somebody else.
Mm, she's the girl that was like a psychotic ex of this guy, and but they would still see each other and have sex. And you know, one day she finds out he's taking this other girl to on a vacation, and he wants to pursue a relationship with her. So she goes over unannounced, like she normally does, and excuse me, and basically just has sex with him. Whatever. They take a couple of pictures, nudie pictures, whatever, and she takes pictures of him in the shower because they're gonna shower together. And one of the last pictures that was ever taken of him before she killed him was actually like the most famous one, but she ended up stabbing him. No, what did she do? Stab him or shoot him? I think she did both, because she like put his body in the bathtub and like kind of mutilated it a bit. I don't know. She was just like, obviously, it was very personal. And then she put the camera in the washer, so she didn't even know that anybody was gonna find that, right? And it also comes down to evidence and what the interrogators know that give you away too. Because her whole thing was like she drove away immediately after and cleaned up a little bit and took off and left this voicemail for her sister or like a friend that was like, yeah, well, I'm actually already on my way over here, and things are going great, whatever. Like she was giving herself like a place that she would have been when the murder took place if anybody asked her about it. Like she is definitely a sociopath, like 100%. And there are even times in the interrogation where like she does do things correctly, right? But like I said, there's always the way that they answer questions too. They're not very good at that. These are people who are compulsive liars and will like dig deep to make sure that whatever's coming out of their mouth, you're going to believe. And she exhibited the same fucking behavior when it came down to being asked an open-ended question. Went off. Said like, oh, well, I'm a Christian, like I wouldn't even hurt a fly, and then she like literally went off on a tangent and started crying, like to make herself seem more genuine, because they only know how to manipulate people. And she talked about this dog that she used to have, and like one time she like kicked it and felt fucking terrible and was like sobbing, and then in the end like consoled herself and was like, well, yeah, but like that's really the moment that I knew like I wanted to be a good person and blah 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 blah, and she just didn't understand why anybody didn't believe her. And that was just on her act alone, right? But what really got her was the fact that they had those photos, and she was unaware that they had recovered the film from the camera which she was attempting to destroy.
Yeah.
So, like I said, like there's always going to be a chink in the armor that the interrogator finds. Almost always. Even if you're really good at manipulating normal people, what people don't understand is that when you're in a room with an interrogator, it's a whole different fucking beast. It really is.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, like, I would actually recommend watching her video. It's called The Wrath of Jodi on Jim Ken Swims. Oh, he also has a second channel, by the way, that he made. So it's kind of like a secret channel that only the fans know about, so that he doesn't get like demonetized and like flagged for anything. So definitely dig for that. But yeah, hers is really, 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 really crazy. And you would think like how people like this get away with lying to and manipulating and like molding people their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because her parents were like, oh, she's an angel and blah blah blah. I don't know. It's just, and it's weird because it's always a 50-50. There are people that think that the person is great, but there are really perceptive people that know the story like the close friends of her boyfriend and the family, they're like, yeah, she's fucking crazy. You know, that she was able to manipulate even the people that were interviewing her. There are people that are still convinced that she's innocent, and there are people so in love with her they write to her in jail and like, try to date her and stuff still.
Interesting.
Excuse me.
Yeah, because she's like apparently attractive and really well spoken and really smart. She killed her fucking boyfriend, obviously. You know what I mean? But that's a common trait in sociopaths. That they're very charming, you know?
In a video
Yeah, in a video game. And the thing is that you need to understand that the interrogator does not give a shit about your charm. They care about solving that crime, and they're gonna do everything legally in their power and strategically to get the answer that they need from you. Not the answer they want, the answer they need from you.
I've seen this lady before.
Yeah.
I mean, she's somewhat attractive.
She killed her fucking boyfriend, okay?
Listen, I'm not saying I'm about to start writing this lady. I'm just saying, like, I see where that claim is, like, holds up.
Well, everybody's a huge fan of her nudes. They're still circulating on the internet, so.
Oh, the shower shit?
No, they took pictures of, like, before they had sex and stuff.
Gotcha.
Like, there's a picture of her just, like, literally laying down on the bed, like, completely fucking naked. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know why she did all that. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to say she could have gotten away with it or, like, did things better. I'm just saying, like, if you knew what you were gonna do, like, why would you have, like, done all that? Just to need to destroy evidence and not even fucking doing that right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how differently would everything have gone if she had just... Like, let's say she wasn't toxic with him. Let's say she took the camera instead of just throwing it in the washer. And she didn't have, I don't know, like, I mean, she could have probably gone away with it a lot longer, but as we know from, like, the Stephanie Lazarus case, I mean, the more the time goes on, the better technology gets, you're eventually going to get caught.
Yeah.
Thank you, honey. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. That's what I've learned. Is that, like, there's, honestly, like, my whole consensus of the thing is that, like, there's really fucked up shit that people do, and obviously some of them don't care if they get caught, so obviously some of them don't think they're ever gonna get caught.
Mhm.
But the reality of it is, I don't understand why people do that anyways. Like, some people want to be serial killers. Some people do it out of just sheer fucking, like, hate, like, or just, unexpectedly, like Chris Watts. Like, he was having an affair, had a beautiful wife and kids, and his wife was pregnant, and he started having this affair, and when he brought up the idea of getting a divorce with his wife, she got upset, cried about it, they got into a fight, and out of nowhere, he just strangled her and killed his 2 daughters and tried to hide it. Like, it was something, he had never had a criminal history, whatever. Like, I don't understand what goes in people's heads that think it's a good idea to become one, to do things like that. I don't care if it's in the moment. Like, you will never get away with it. Like, a normal person would never get away with it. Like, unless you, like, do a drive-by shooting and, you're really covered up and there's only, like, one working security camera and it's got, like, the worst, shittiest grainy quality in the world, like, you're never going to get away with it. There's always ways. There's always ways, and I don't understand. Like, that's my consensus to the whole thing. And there's always ways that people are gonna find you.
Yeah, because wasn't that, like, pretty much solved within a week?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say solved. Let me rephrase that. The narrative went from, like, his children and wife were missing, to his children and wife were dead, to turns out he did it. Like, wasn't all of that figured out, like within the span of a week?
Pretty much, yeah. And the main kind of, like, the very first thing that tipped them off was her best friend. Because her best friend was actually taking her to an appointment for the pregnancy, and Chris wasn't there because he was apparently coming home from work, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that he took so long to get there after the cop called and said, hey, like, bro, like, your wife's not answering the door, her car's still here, her friend said that she missed her appointment, you know, and like, there's even I think there's like a specific moment in that cop's body cam where you can see like the really, it's almost like you can see her friend's stomach turn when she looks at Chris, like just at his weird demeanor.
Yeah.
Because they know him, like these are people that have spent a portion of their lives with this guy, and the guy that hardly talks to anybody, super introverted, all of a sudden is talking so much, creating this narrative like, oh, she left her ring here, the girls are gone, all the girls' blankies are gone, you know, and even she was like, he never talks, like, I don't know why he's acting like that. The neighbor said the same thing, and then the neighbor has his home security footage of this guy leaving none of the time he said he was going to, and only carrying a gasoline can and big, like, large bags into his car.
Yeah.
Stuff that he never takes for work. Like, he never, it wasn't premeditated, obviously. But I mean, that's even worse, is when that stuff happens right away, and you have no idea what the fuck you're doing or even what to do, you're almost always gonna get caught. Always. I don't understand why he didn't just turn himself in. And a key point in the analysis is that, like, when he's talking, when he agrees to do interviews for, like, the news and whatever, he's like, I just, things haven't been the same. You know, he's, like, really monotone, hardly showing any kind of, like, discomfort other than the fact that he's being questioned about it. And he's like, yeah, I need them back. You know, I can't sleep. I need those kids back. Like, if you found out that Josh was missing, you know, and you think about what you would say, like, no, I need my son back. Like, I want Josh back. Please give me back that really important piece of my life. Like, I need my son back. I love him. But the fact that that's another thing that I think comes up a lot in interrogations is, like I said, the cadence or the words that you use.
Yeah.
You know, those kids. It's the disassociation from them, even though they're literally your own fucking offspring. You know what I mean? It's like, not only is he trying to separate himself from suspicion entirely, but from their entities, you know, subconsciously. Like, I need those kids back. Like, now I need my little princesses back. Like, I need my angels back. I need my daughters back. You know, I need those kids back. Just bring those kids home. You know, it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, he's actually one of the people I hate the most. Like, there's a lot of murders that, you know, I kind of like digest and I analyze a lot, but his is one of the ones that disgusts me the most. Definitely, like.
Yeah, I can
don't
see
know.
that. I think we've talked about before when, because Rachel likes a lot of true crime shit as well, and whenever, like, there's a reenactment of, like, say, like, a specific violent action, is always like a dude beating the shit out of, like, a wife or a girlfriend or a son or a daughter. Like, it always kind of just sends me over, just because of shit I've dealt with in my past.
Most definitely. Yeah, I feel that too. And I think what did that for me in the Chris Watts case is not only that, the fact that, like, his wife loved him so much, enough to carry not one, not two, but 3 of his children. One that was still inside of her. And even though she didn't know this affair was going on, like, when they showed the text messages between her and her best friend, it was like, yeah, like, I really don't know what's going on. He's not the way that he used to be. He wasn't even excited about hearing that I was pregnant. Like, I really love him and I want this to work, but he doesn't even want to go to marriage counseling. Like, she's just desperately trying to find out what's going wrong, what's going on.
Right.
And that killed me because she lost her life over his infidelity and shame and like inability to cope with the fact that she didn't want it to end. And the cherry on top was the way that he disposed of their bodies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you bury your wife and how do you shove your kids into a water tank that has an opening of a diameter of about 8 inches, to the point where when people go there and you tell them where their bodies are, you know, like, eventually he fessed up about the whole thing. Like, in prison, he talks about it with people that go to interview him. The forensic team found pieces of the girl's scalp and hair on the rim of those openings because the opening was so small and their bodies were so big.
Yeah.
And that he knew how far they fell and how full the tanks were because of the sound their bodies made when they hit the water. Like, how do you, no matter, I don't care what you did it for, like, how do you do that? It frustrates the shit out of me, you know? And it's weird because I used to be a person that was always like, no, I don't think people should die for anything. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the death penalty at all, or sentencing people to death.
Right.
But now I can't think of any other punishment that would suit the crime, you know?
Yeah. I've never given that, like, I've never, like, intrinsically thought about, like, how, like whether or not the death penalty should continue to be a form of punishment that we use.
Which
I
is
mean, like,
weird.
there are obviously, like, things I think that like, people should like, if you do these kind of things, you're not worthy of life anymore, and we would probably be better off just ending you. I just never genuinely thought about, like, okay, well, what specifically are those things? But I think, like,
Yeah.
anything when it comes to, like, you've taken a life, unless it was otherwise, like, something deserved, then
Yeah, like that lady that, like, killed a pedophile.
yeah, I mean, like, I mean, obviously it depends on, like, if it's unprovoked, like, okay, so here's what I would say on that. If you're killing somebody unprovoked, doesn't matter what they did, you're a fucking murderer. It just is what it is. Fucking Apollo.
Or if you did it for, like, a stupid reason. For instance, I think it was, like, Chris and Shannon as one, like, a really, really gruesome case. Where, like, they're just, you know, happy lives, whatever. They're in a parking lot, they're being a couple, you know, like, holding hands, kissing by their car, and this group of 5 people, they're in their apartment complex parking lot, and they try to rob them. Like, they try to carjack them, right? But it's so weird that to think about how little instances lead to these things.
Mm-hmm.
But all that it took for them to turn from carjacking to murdering them was the fact that while they were held at gunpoint asking for them to turn over the keys just so that they could get in the car and drive away, a pair of headlights was coming through the apartment complex, which made them scared to be caught. So they took the couple with them. And I really don't want to say too much because I know, like, for some people it's really triggering and traumatizing to hear about these things. But the things that they did to them, I can't even imagine what it was like to go through that just because somebody wanted your car. And the fact that you got taken with them, you know, like, because they were afraid of getting caught by this random person that probably didn't even know they were there.
Right.
That you ended up dying in a really painful, excruciating, humiliating way. Like, they were tortured to death, basically.
Yeah.
You know? Like they did so many things to this girl that like they thought removing evidence would have been as easy as pouring bleach down her throat and inside of her while she was still alive. Like I don't people like that. It's so hard to say like
Their
what
life is
deserves the
valuable.
death penalty. Yeah. And it's crazy too cuz like when I hear about stuff like that I'm like there's no way they didn't get the death penalty. And only one of them did. And that was the jurors. Obviously it comes down to the jurors and the judge, right?
Hmm.
But even the family of these people it makes me so it's so crazy to me like how everybody's different just like the way that we don't believe in the death penalty or we do those people that are like parents of people like I believe in this specific case their families were like you know what like I hope you know I hope that one day you realize what you did like I don't like you know how they give their little speech
Yeah.
they said but we're not gonna decide whether you should die or not. Like, I don't think that you should get the death penalty, but I do believe that you should be put away because you're obviously a threat to humanity.
Yeah.
You know, which is obviously a completely different reaction than anybody would have to having their children assaulted in like almost every way and then just tossed away. It's like, even through all of that, like some people are still like, you don't deserve to die. Like, I can't say whether you decide to live or not, but live away from everybody for the rest of your life. It's like, I mean, I don't know. It's really confusing. It really is. Because there's obviously people that don't deserve the death penalty that get it. You know, like people who just commit really petty crimes over the years, and you know, one of them happens to be as bad as like I don't know, getting into a car accident and like killing somebody and then running away. Like you can get the death penalty for that, like in a couple states. But 5 people do that to a couple and only one of them gets the death penalty. It's like I don't know. I really don't know what to say.
I think the truth of the matter is that we as a first world society have progressed so far that a lot of things seem very backward and even like I would even go as far as to use the word draconian. The problem is that like we really don't tackle a lot of these things and like what they mean to us until like they arise as a like an issue. Like so like to use COVID as an example, there are a lot of people arguing that maybe we need to make vaccines mandatory just because of the harm that it's causing America and obviously other places right now. But like we'll just use America first and foremost because that's where a lot of these are going to lie. And then like a lot of people will say, I I probably lean more towards like it probably is for the best to mandatory like vaccinate or make vaccination mandatory. Primarily because a lot of the reasons that people use for why we shouldn't, it's like, well, you know, there's no reason to, or you know, this will go away, or you know, like it only affects like people who are already,
Or that the survival rate's really high, blah blah
yeah, just things like that. I think like when it comes to a lot of stuff like that, we've never necessarily dealt with something until we're dealing with it at that moment, and it's kind of hard to be critical of anybody in that scenario. But like, I think we need to start being a little bit more like pragmatic with like a lot of the things that we tackle, and I would even border on saying like maybe we should be like more epistemic when it comes to these things, like what's possible, um, in like in these very like strange niche possibilities of our current world. How should that be handled rather than well how did we handle this say 100 years ago or 50 years ago or 20 years ago, because like even like 30 years ago we didn't have any rules regarding anything on the internet. And since then, like the internet has completely shaped how the FCC does everything.
Right.
So like think about like things like COVID, like that is on this level of infectiousness. Last time we saw anything like this was the flu, which is like 100 years ago. So like, should we really be like looking back to 1990 for things like this, or should we maybe like kind of think of what's a little bit more practical for 2020, where I think our population has doubled since then, and not even just the United States, probably even more so for the United States, but the world as a whole. I don't know. I genuinely think there needs to be a coalition of people that kind of goes over our laws and our regulations on a regular basis and just kind of sees what may be like out of date with whatever we have going on. Like a good example of this is probably also copyright law. Especially since like the formation of copyright was kind of founded like around the time when some things that would be becoming not fair use, public domain, are starting to become public domain. I think so I think like Mickey Mouse would be like a really good example of this. But like Disney abuses a lot of that kind of stuff primarily just so they don't have to worry about like people using their characters or their
Making fan fiction. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean technically. Okay, public domain.
I love you, dude. A little chunky, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I'm not worried about it so much. And worry about it later. We can talk about it more.
It's just got a dumpy.
Who's got a dumpy?
Really.
Oh.
I know what you mean. And it's weird because I've actually thought about that specifically when it comes to like pedophiles. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot that goes into it. But after like
Okay, hang on. I do want you to clarify when you say pedophiles, you are talking about like offenders, correct?
yeah.
Okay.
Or even just the people that like could become offenders if they go down a certain path. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, if you wanted to go that route, that would technically be like the majority of men.
No, because like if I get into the specifics of it, which I will in a minute, yeah, like I'll explain that in a little bit what I mean by that. But basically, because there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and I actually recently like touched up on the subject because it's something that obviously like, it's one of my favorite types of content to watch is when the like Chris Hansen stuff, and then people who are like vigilante predator catchers. It's like, there's a lot that goes into like actually prosecuting somebody and if they get, you know, what kind of punishment they get. But I was doing the research and I touched up on the psychology of that, and like we're hardwired to be like, how do I say? Because it's something that's not like really determined. Not really determined, but it can be influenced by like your environment, what you grow up around.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, the way that you're brought up and what goes on in your like brain and everything else is like basically what is like the base formula for what you're attracted to, and everything else that happens around you, like I said, your environment and your upbringing kind of solidifies that, obviously. And then when you get older, you know, like it's again like your environment, like things change, but when it comes down to it, like there's no way to really change that, you know, unless you go through like this, like, I don't know, process of just trying to rewire yourself completely 100%. Like, it's not going to change. So when we're talking about pedophiles, there's actually a group of people, and you can actually look them up, that consider themselves virtuous pedophiles. And it's where their whole lives, like, they have recognized, even from a very young age, like as young as like 13, being attracted to like 6-year-olds. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when they start to go through puberty and stuff. But they've obviously recognized and have owned up to, like, yeah, this is wrong. This is like something I obviously can't change. Like, no matter how much I try to, like, I can't run away from it. But I'm going to make the conscious decision to not look for that kind of content, to not give in to those ideations or urges. Like, I'm not going to look up CP. I'm not going to, put myself around children where I know I would be putting them in danger. Like, they are just like straight edge, but they still have that in them. You know what I mean? Whereas the people who do give in to those urges, those thoughts, and let it develop to a point where some of them have even gone, as far as like killing these kids. It's like, I know murderers is like a touchier subject, but when it comes down to just like regular offenders, I guess like vanilla offenders, you should say, I think that people need to take like a very specific way in how you handle it. Because obviously, like, yeah, you can put them in prison forever or for a really long time, because it's almost never forever unless they kill somebody, and even then, like, they could get like 10, 15 years and still be out. My issue is that, like, that attraction never changes. Like, never, ever, ever, ever changes. So why aren't there more programs like this group, like these people who are like very, they're willing to accept other people and they're willing to teach other people their ways, but there's no organizations doing that. Like, there's no organizations that rehab offenders. There's no organizations that reach out to them and like, look, like, we understand you. Come with us and we're willing to like help you work through this so that you don't make terrible decisions that affect your life or affect the lives of somebody very impressionable and innocent that could ruin them forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why I'm not saying that I feel bad for them. Obviously, I would never have pity on anybody that would do that to somebody. Especially with the stuff that I've been through, but I don't understand why we don't help people like that. Because I feel like then a lot of things would change. Because you can put that person in a cell for 10 years, and they could have one bad day when they get out and end up reoffending. Yeah, I get it. When they get out, they're on the registry. Nobody wants to talk to them. Nobody wants to hire them. They can't live within a certain distance from, like, schools and certain places. But it's like, how many times as a society do we have to pay for these mistakes to finally realize, like, the more that you try to keep somebody from something, like, forcefully, the more they're going to want to do it. The more it's going to be harder for them to stop. So why aren't we taking that different approach, like you said, and rehabbing these people? Showing them that they can live with it. That they can have normal lives and be, like, like a contribution to their society without being complete fucking monsters. Or seen as them. I just don't understand why that's not a priority when it comes to these people.
Yeah.
Because if it's something like me being bi, like, that's never going to change. You know what I mean?
Like as
That's
far as
just
your
something.
sexuality or like what you're attracted to.
Yeah, exactly. It's that.
Sexuality is probably
obviously,
not like the best word to use. Like your sexual preference is probably like the
yeah.
better
I mean,
like
my
word to
sexual
use.
preference, like that's cemented in me.
Yeah.
You know, and like it may take different forms as I evolve, but like I said, it's like that base coding, that base foundation that's always gonna be the fucking same. Why do we not understand that those people are exactly the same in that sense? Because that doesn't mean that they can't have healthy relationships with people their age. You know, because almost all of them can. Some of them do. But you know, there's still that guy that's married to a girl that goes to drive 12 hours to see a 13-year-old boy. Because it doesn't change, it doesn't stop them. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why we're not rehabbing these people the same way that you would an addict. Because at that point, and I hate to say it, like with the research that I've done, if that is their preference, you know, like I understand it's not ethical and it's not right, and it shouldn't happen when people try to make, you know, homosexual people like the opposite sex, because obviously, like, they can't do that, they won't do that, right? And you can't teach these people to not be attracted to children. But why not give them the tools and help them overcome it? Not overcome it, but kind of live with it without being, you know, absolute fucking menaces to, like, you know, people's lives. I don't know. I have deep thoughts like that when I watch those videos.
I think it's primarily just. So this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Sexuality on like this widest scope. I don't think we've thought about and like what it means to feel a certain, like, I mean, like, realistically, I would say like the world didn't really take being gay seriously until like 1980 maybe, and then like fucking forget like transgenderism, like that's a whole other topic.
And it's technically not even like really accepted yet.
Yeah, like we're still struggling to like get people to, you know, treat that like that's something that like A exists, and then B should exist.
Yeah. But I don't really understand like why people, I don't know. I guess I'm just a different.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Once our, how old are your parents, roughly?
I don't know, like 45, 46.
It's like Gen X maybe.
I have no idea.
That
You
would
know all
probably be
those
Gen
fancy, you know all those fancy terms, Drew.
My
You're the
parent-
smartest one.
X. My parents were boomers. I think once the
Okay,
boomers.
boomer.
Say it again, Tony. What'd you say?
I said okay, boomer.
Yeah, pretty much. I genuinely think once like the boomer generation dies, like things will, like, not even just on like a societal front, but just in general, like I think things will probably get a lot better. I really hate saying that because like that's me that's me effectively saying like
Genocide? Oh, I'm just kidding.
well, no, it's effectively like me saying like once like my mom's generation, including her, like passes, then like we'll be able to progress as a society. Like
Oh,
that feels
yeah.
really bad to
But,
say, but,
no, but
like
the
there's
talk
a
we
lot of
had
truth
about
to
your
that.
mom
Yeah,
and her views.
Like-
Yeah, that makes sense.
I love my mom to death, but like there's a lot of things that she believes that are super brain dead.
Like the use of certain words.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
it feels bad to like think of it that way, but like I mean I've mentioned that to her before. It's like as much as I hate to say it, you guys have kind of fucked a lot of shit for us, and like you're the reason why we can't really make any progress. So I love you to death,
I
but
swear.
like fuck everybody your age.
I can't wear a strap out in public without you guys losing your fucking minds.
That's it's almost sometimes it unironically feels like that's the conversation being had. And it's like I wish you would just fucking like shut up for a minute and listen. Sometimes it's important to just shut up and listen to someone else.
Yeah. You're like, you're producing too much CO2 right now. I need you to just shut the fuck up.
And it feels bad because I'm definitely one of those kind of people that like feels like everyone should have a voice in something, like regardless of whether or not it like affects them.
But then you're also like, not you.
Yeah. But I think like you should only be allowed to do that if you are in turn capable of listening.
Yeah.
Like you
like,
can't say like somebody else's ideation is shit if you're not capable of like somebody else coming to you and saying no, your ideation is shit. Here's why. Like if you're incapable of that, like just stay out of the fucking discourse. All right, we're just gonna have to deal with like fucking like weirdo cat here.
I
just wanted to block out right quick, and I got it.
I like how his front legs are way longer than his back legs.
That's how the models are. The rig is set up. I can't do shit about that yet.
I'm looking at my dog right now, and it doesn't look like that. Well, what if you made him like one of those midget cats?
I think what it is, I think this is technically, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to learn a little bit more about like how this rig is meant to be set up, because I think like this is like tummy right here and chest that comes down.
Well, because you also have to think about how the back legs are. Like they don't really start from the bottom of the cat. Like even on all animals, really, it's like.
Yeah, it's gonna be like it's gonna be right up here, but this is just what I have right now. I'm also trying to figure out why the legs are so close together. It's kind of, I don't know if that's meant to be. Hang on, before I close this out, move on to something else. Or actually, I'm probably about to call it a day.
Oh yeah, we have been chatting for a while, and Tony be listening like Tony do.
Yep.
I mean, we can stay
listening.
on, but like I gotta work on my other stuff, and I don't really know where to go from here right now. Not very many people are here, so I'm kind of just like, all right, well, if nobody's watching, there's no point in me doing this, like trying to figure this shit out right now. Blender.
I'm not laughing at you, Jerb.
Modeling.
I'm laughing at the fact that like, as you're talking, Tony just goes, "I'm a good listener." Like he interrupts you to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I miss you.
Okay,
Tony.
there's plenty of shit on cats. Cool.
Tony said, "I missed you."
I missed you, bitch.
Yeah, I bet, ho. Really? Hi.
Let's see.
Oh, my girl. My sweetie pie. Whoa. You look like you came back from another dimension, babe. Yeah. I'm actually getting tired too. Me and the boys have been talking for a bit, so I think he's about to call it a day, and I might too in a little bit. Actually, you know what? I think that's good to do right now.
Let's see.
Deep talks fry my brain.
Cool. And then how do you spell this? Okay, it's hearts. Yeah, so we're gonna raid Lionheart for some juicy Genshin Impact stuff. Your favorite anime wifeys. Close enough.
Fine.
Tony's like, yes.
All right, guys.
Anime Wi-Fi's.
Anime Wi-Fi's. Anyways, I appreciate the fuck out of you guys. We'll have more planned. I'll figure out what to do with Kato here. And then once I get him done, I think we'll be ready to like do an animation test. And then once we got that done, then we're gonna start making content. And hopefully by after the time everything is done, I'll be done with my commission stuff, and I'll be able to stream more often and do more shit. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you later.
You forgot to say don't commit crimes against humanity. They should be tried, baby.
Okay. Later, YouTube peeps.
Alright, Jeremy, it was nice having a deep